to the Freak Show. Let's review episode 5 of American Horror Story Apocalypse. And spoiler to those of you out there who have not watched the episode. Now, this episode was written by John J. Gray, and it was directed by Gwyneth Horder Payton. The episode begins right where episode 4 left off, and opens to Cordelia's vision after she fainted from seeing Queenie and Madison. She sees Michael, and she sees Miss Robichaux's academy burned to the ground, and Michael, of course, is being his Antichrist self in her vision. As we saw in the trailer, Cordelia is eaten alive by those infected with radiation, while Michael simply watches. Cordelia wakes up from her vision and embraces Queenie and Madison, who suddenly doesn't need affection from anyone. Now, Cordelia and her coven talk to the warlocks, and Cordelia tells them that she will give Michael the 7 Wonders test in 2 weeks when the blood moon has risen. Next, Myrtle rages against Cordelia for allowing Michael to take the 7 Wonders, talking about how the Alpha is a fairy tale for little boys to believe in, so that way they'll feel important when they're really not. And guys, that's Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk destroying your fucking female childhood. Now, Myrtle wants Cordelia to put off the 7 Wonders test until a female Supreme can rise. Cordelia says that her powers are fading and she's growing weaker, meaning a new Supreme is rising. It was a very beautiful and powerful moment between Myrtle and Cordelia, coming to the realization that she will no longer be Supreme and wither. Now, I could not help but cry at this point, guys. Let's give a moment of silence to our Supreme Cordelia Good. Now, is it me, or does Mallory seem a lot like Misty Day? She's quite powerful and natural, and even Myrtle says that Mallory's powers are the likes of something she's never seen before. I absolutely loved Coco's entrance interview for Miss Robichaux's Academy with Cordelia. She's there with her father, and her story of how she can detect gluten made me chuckle. Now, however, it is a legitimate power. Cordelia says that Coco can sense danger, which I do see why they placed her now with Mallory. And she meets Mallory for the first time in this episode. It was a very great little scene, guys. I enjoyed it very much, and I just had to kind of note that in there, that if you haven't had a chance to watch the episode, please go back and absolutely watch that one especially. It's a really beautiful, powerful moment between the two. Now, the warlocks come together before the blood moon to give Michael blessings for his 7 Wonders test. Now, when Michael flashes his demon O face at John Henry, the Elder Warlock decides to leave the school to check out Cordelia's theory of an apocalypse. Now, his Satan PKE meter is going crazy, so he has to see if something really is wrong with Michael. Behold comes in and accuses John Henry of just being jealous. And guys, my socks flew off my feet when John Henry tells Behold to, quote, step back, bitch, and magically flung him to the wall. John Henry, this was very poignant because John Henry has shown himself to be a powerful warlock, especially in my eyes. Sadly, I believe this scene will be my husband's downfall as well, as he never, ever puts gas in the car. I mean, ever. Literally. Miss Meade rolls right up to the pump that John Henry stops at in the middle of the night because, of course, he has run out of gas. You know that absolutely nothing good is going to come about when Miss Meade rolls up to the pump. Miss Meade takes advantage of the situation and cuts John Henry's Achilles tendons in his heels and his throat. She straight up soaks him with gas and lights him on fire, and then just takes off to have this nice little warm reunion with Michael. Now, that's time management there, folks. Miss Meade reveals that Ariel was the one who told her about John Henry, so that way she could intercept and kill him. She also tells Michael that, not to mention his father to Ariel, and it's actually this very little hilarious moment. I loved it. Another one of great moments. The three of them feel very confident that Michael will ace the 7 Wonders and triumph as their new alpha. Now, guys, here we've come to the 7 Wonders. It's brought back to you in the same black and white cinematography. I've missed that. Michael aces all of the 7 wonders, but when it comes to Descendium, the test where Misty Day ended up being stuck in hell, she asks Michael to bring Misty back as part of his test. Now, Ariel expresses outrage at Cordelia, telling her that she's trying to rig the test in her favor. She denies this and tells him she outranks him and will test Michael as difficult as she sees fits because she wants to make sure that he is the one who can lead them through the dark times coming up. Michael takes the test, and sure enough, guys, we see our wonderful, sweet, beautiful soul, Misty Day, stuck in hell. And it's actually very interesting to see Michael take the hallway to actually get to her. There's so many people's hells. It was just very interesting to see that. Now, Michael saves Misty Day, guys, and when he wakes from the wonder test, her ashes are reanimated and she's brought back to life. When everybody is welcoming her back, she locks eyes with Michael, and something happens and like the power shifts in the room. Michael has passed the 7 wonders, and Cordelia is showing signs that she is fading with a nosebleed in front of everyone. Now, right as Cordelia admits that Michael is their new supreme, she faints once again after being swept away by his devastatingly good looks. When Cordelia wakes up, she tells Myrtle and Misty that Michael won't be their next supreme. She only tested him to see how strong he was and to get the members of her coven back. Misty said something is wrong with Michael, something she's never encountered before, and tells all of the witches when he came for her in hell. The kids that were in the classroom with her in the science class went full-blown scary movie on her and spoke gibberish to him while their eyes went white. Misty has no clue what the little kids gibbered to him, but she knows that something's wrong with Michael and she can't fight him because she's lost her powers, basically. Cordelia says that Misty just needs to heal. And here we get to see our white witch once again. Guys, Stevie Nicks. Oh, she serenades the witches, everybody, with the song Gypsy. And it was just very spellbinding to see her personal little performance just for this episode with B.D. Wong on the piano. I mean, my God, that's just incredible. And it was a beautiful, powerful scene after the song when Misty Day and Stevie Nicks embraced each other. It was just absolutely beautiful. I have to say, another powerful moment in this episode. After this, Cordelia and Madison talk. And Cordelia wants Madison to do sort of like a witch's background check on Michael because Cordelia knows something is wrong with him. Madison asks Cordelia why she thinks that she's going to be loyal to her and not Michael, the one who brought her back. But Cordelia tells Madison that she's loyal to no one but herself. Well, she's right. Madison is very selfish and she's only going to do what she sees fit as best. Now, Behold interrupts this conversation by insisting that he go with Madison because he too has doubts about Michael. Cordelia agrees that Behold can go with Madison, and Behold wins the one-liner award this week when he replies, "Great," in such a wonderful, snappy style that I can't even begin to impersonate because it was just so fucking awesome. Now, I can't wait to see their adventures together, guys. Cordelia gives them an address to start with, and it is the murder house. This is when Cordelia says that this is where it all began, and a dramatic end to the episode. Now, I honestly love this episode and will give it a 10 because, this was the start of Behold's journey with Madison, who I'm sure they're going to make an excellent duo. We revisited the 7 wonders. We saw Cordelia's plan come into light, and Misty Day, hello. Now, I think Cordelia is fading because Mallory is the next Supreme. We will see John Henry again soon, and I'm so excited for next week, guys, when we revisit the murder house. Huge thank you to my patrons, Alicia, Mia, and baby Jalen George, Notel Hotel, Michael Mullins Wright, Jeremy Oren, Vic and Stark, Kenny Joseph, Shay Sultan, Joseph Anthony, Don Ford, Ex Misa, Jill Post, Luke Reese, Irish Melly, Ray Myers, Leah Bashford, Rez Ramirez, John Morgan, Connor Thing, Cody Spencer, Suki Fawn, Mike Gedney, and Debbie Ebby Babebby. To be a patron and earn tons of rewards for just $1, click on the link in the description. Now, as y'all know, I love your theories and your ideas, so make sure you leave them below. And what did you think of episode 5 of Apocalypse? If you'd like to support the channel, leave a like or dislike and subscribe. Link to my group, The Freaks of AHS, on Facebook is in the description. Weekly Wednesday live streams are every single Wednesday, and Beyond the Horror, my unofficial American Horror Story after show, is every Wednesday night immediately following the current episode of AHS Apocalypse. Thank you so much for watching, and beware of sexy scathage.
AHS Apocalypse premieres Wednesday, September 12th on FX.